My name is C1C Richardson, and I'm a cadet at your academy. I had the Gates Millennium Scholarship, the one that Bill Gates gives out to minorities. It was a full ride to anywhere I got accepted to. I almost went to VMI, but at the time I was like, I don't want to go to a military school, which is kind of funny in retrospect. But I ended up going to Virginia Wesleyan College, which was down the street. Did that first semester, and then I decided to leave. I wasn't liking my major, and then I was going to come back to Virginia Beach for my birthday, visit my friends, hang out, for 10 days. 10 days turned into 10 months, because after 3 days, I managed to transfer my job and found a place to live. I was like, I should probably do something productive with my life that's useful. And I've been interested in airplanes and the Air Force since I was 5. I had done Civil Air Patrol back when I was in California by Vandenberg Air Force Base, so I was already familiar with the Air Force. So I was thinking either Marines or Air Force, but I was leaning towards the Marines. So I was going to go to them first and then go to the Air Force. Went to the Marine office, they had left on their lunch break. The Air Force people were about to leave their office, like, oh, hey. It's like, what are you waiting on? I was like, oh, waiting on the Marine guys. So, oh, take you to lunch. And that's how I ended up in the Air Force. My plan was, because I wanted to fly, but I decided, just go enlisted because I wanted to just get started. I was going to go enlisted and then go to OTS later. After they got my ASVAB scores back, I got a 95. So they're like, we're going to give you the linguist test. I looked over the brochure and then I put it down. I'll never forget this. I put it down, looked up at him, and I was like, you need a lot of these people, don't you? And he's like, yes. So I got back to the MEP station after that test, and they're like, oh, here's your, you got a 6-year contract, airborne crypto linguist, guaranteed job once you get out of basic training. So I wanted, Korean or Japanese, but Japanese was reserved for officers, and at the time I was enlisted. So I was like, well, can't have Japanese. And then I looked down at the bottom subscript. The only subscript there is on that thing says, airborne linguists cannot have Korean. So I put, picked my top 5, and then the comment section is like, I know it says I can't have it, but I want Korean. I got to Monterey at the Defense Language Institute. It was like, hey, you start Korean class in 2 months. I was like, what? They had changed the requirements like a week before I graduated. I had been on casual, and when I was on casual, I had started, someone asked me to fix the pictures in someone's office or whatever. And I did it, apparently I did a really good job, because then the next person down was like, hey, when you're done with that office, can you do my office? And eventually I moved all the way down the hall and ended up in the commander's office. But he was like, have you ever considered the Air Force Academy? It's like, what's that? So I put in all the paperwork and graduated from the Defense Language Institute, and then went on to Goodfellow Air Force Base, Texas. And we're out at Squad PT, waiting out there. We're like, there's the first sergeant. That's interesting. And then, 2 minutes later, there's the base command chief. That's weird. And then next we're like, there's the base commander and our squad commander. What's going on? They're talking, addressing everybody, and then they're like, just randomly, not even related to what they were talking about. They're like, Cadet Richardson, front and center. I'm like, It's like, oh, this again. Enlisted basically was like, oh dear God, I'm gonna die. And this time I was like, going through enlisted basic, have a big black guy who's like 26 and, is from security forces and trained to kill people, yelling at you. And then you come here and it's someone who their only military experience is going through basic here, who's 3 years younger than you, yelling at you, asking you if you can be in their Air Force. That rubs people the wrong way. That's why some priors quit, because they get tired of that. You have to mentally prepare yourself before you get here to be like, I know what I'm signing up for. I know there's gonna be people younger than me in charge of me. I'll deal with it. It's worth it in the long run, is the way I was thinking. Academics, that has been my weak point here. Not because I'm not capable, but because it's getting back into the monotony of it, and personal drama didn't help. And being a freshman, and being enlisted, and being yelled at, can you be in my Air Force? Decided that I wanted to pick a major that I would enjoy, and that I knew I could do, but not necessarily engineering class. So I picked history. And at first I was general history, and then they came out with a special one, international history. We could pick a specific focus. So considering my Korean linguist background, I picked international history to focus on Asia. This school has one of the highest ratings as far as teacher availability. As far as EI is concerned, if you're having trouble in a class, you can get help. The problem is being humble enough to go get that help. Because I had a problem with that. For a while there, especially sophomore year, I was in the mindset, well, 2-0 and go. For chemistry in particular, like that just wasn't clicking with me when I was in chemistry. And I think it was coming up on 2 months left, and I had a 44 in the class, 44%. My friend had been, telling me, he was like, oh, when I was in chemistry, I got, EI from this guy, you should go see him. And she'd been telling me that all semester. It's like, I'll make it, I'll be fine. And I was like, I don't know. So I went and talked to him, I started getting EI from him. Just with EI help, him, going over the quizzes I had before that had failed, going over all those. By the time I finished the final, I ended that class with a 74. And because of the curve that there is in chemistry, because that is such a hard course, that is a B-. So don't be afraid to get the help. Put, for rated, I put, pilot, navigator, air battle manager in that order, and then intel, which is what I used to be, is I put my number 1 choice for non-rated, and then I had the other 5. Originally, when I got here, I wanted to just go straight RPAs. I used to be an instructor for the RPA program here at the Air Force Academy. If you go straight RPA immediately, it's pretty much impossible to try to go pilot later, but it's really easy, almost automatic. If you say, hey, I'm a pilot, hey, I want to go into RPA, it's like, oh yeah, sure, there you go. So they said if you want to fly, if you have any inclination of flying, try to get it straight out here, because of my age and because of, it being hard to switch, this is pretty much the only chance I'll have to be in-cockpit pilot, so that's why I'm going for that first. I am far from done with stuff at the Academy, and my thing is, there's so many opportunities at the Academy, I'm in no rush to leave. It's like, I'm very excited, to become an officer and commission and, have my AFSC, but I want to do as much as I can while I'm here, while I can. Like I said, I did archery, I was an instructor for the RPA program, I ice skate, I tried out for falconry when I was a freshman. Like, there's so many things you can do here. There's no rush. Just take your time and enjoy it. It's free. Come on. If you're going to come into the Academy, you have to be in the mindset of, I'm going to finish. I'm here to be an officer. That's it. We'll deal with, all the unpleasantries to get through here. I think that's the biggest piece of advice I could give, is just be in the mindset, I signed up for this is what I want to be an officer, just be done with it there. No more deliberation after that. Sure, there'll be hard times during your freshman year or during, from academics where you're like, well, I don't know if I can make it. Just be ready to finish and deal with it, really. My name is C1C Richardson, and I'm a cadet at your academy.